Welcome to Ultimate Survival Gear. Today, as you guys can see, I have something else from Under Armour. Let's open it up and see what it is. These are, yet again, Under Armour Valsetz Micro G, but this time, as you guys can see, with the side zip. Yes, and honestly, if you guys are deciding to, if you already decided to buy Valsetz, go with Under Armour Valsetz, and you are kind of stuck between the different models, but you kind of want to go with the full size, definitely spend the extra money. It's only like $10-20 more expensive with the side zip, because it's definitely worth it. This side zip right here, it just changes the game completely. It makes it much easier, much faster to put it on and take them off, which is very important in survival situations, because if, as you guys know, this review is not just any kind of regular boot review. This review is specifically for my Ultimate Survival boots section. Yes, so basically, if you know, I mean, these are tactical boots, these are combat boots. You are buying them because you are anticipating that maybe, potentially, you might be in a situation where your life is in danger, your friend's life is in danger, and you guys are surviving. You're surviving by yourself, you're fighting, you're running, you're walking for extended periods of time to get into the safety. So, makes sense. And that's why I decided to start this whole Ultimate Survival Gear channel in the first place, to review, you know, all sorts of kind of gear, starting from, you know, your shoes, from, you know, boots in this case, your clothing, whatever other kind of gear that you might need, whether it's a backpack, whether it's a tent, whatever it is, right? With survival in mind. And how do we make the judgment? We make the judgment based on 8 different criteria. Let the review begin. Criteria number 1, comfort level. Now, in order to test the comfort level of all the shoes that I review on this channel, I do a 3-mile run and then a 5-mile walk, non-stop, no pauses in between, and then I continue wearing the boots or shoes for the rest of the day, so that the total wear time is 8 hours. Now, I love the comfort level of these boots. Very easy to run in, surprisingly, in a full-size boot. Very easy to walk for extended periods of time. I did not get fatigued at all. I did not get tired from the weight. I mean, I got tired from running and walking 8 miles total. It's hard, obviously, it's a workout. It's stress on your muscles, but not from the boot. And there are a few factors that contribute to that comfort level. Let's start from the first one, of course, the weight. And let me grab my scale, and I'll tell you exactly how light or heavy these particular boots are. This is size 10, and the size 10 is 16.8. Let me guys tell you a little bit of a reference. Fantastic weight for a full-size boot. Unbelievably good weight for a full-size boot. Now, if you're looking for something lightweight, you are looking for something under 20 ounce. The more under 20 ounce it is, the lighter it's going to be. Obviously, the over 20 ounce, the more over 20 ounce, the heavier it's going to be. And for short distances, it's not really, you know, a few ounces don't make a difference on short distances. If you're just, you know, or if you're just sitting all day and you're wearing, you know, it might be comfortable. The weight might not play that much of a big of a deal, right? That big of a role. But if you are walking, you know, anything over 3 miles, I would say 5-10 miles a day, I'm telling you guys, 2 ounces can make a huge difference. And that fatigue from the weight on your feet, I mean, that right there can be deadly, all right? So being lightweight is very important. In the full size, that is very impressive weight. But let's move on further. Flexibility of the outsole, also very important, like a huge impact on the comfort level. And as you can see here, it is not only flexible, it is also flexible in the right area. So you do have that crease going over here, which is perfect, because this is the crease that you're gonna have in your foot whenever you're running, so that you're not putting the stress on your, you know, heels, your ankles, your knees. Very important. So you can actually run properly in this boot, which is awesome. It's very impressive. Let's move on to the inner sole. That's another thing that contributes to the comfort level, or sometimes takes away from the comfort level. Now let me get in there. Thanks to the side zipper, it's much easier in this boot. And I'm gonna take it out and I'll show you. Check this out. Excellent inner sole overall. Decent amount of cushioning, just right amount of cushioning in my opinion. Very nice heel bed, very nice arch support, just overall very simplistic but perfect. And once you take it out, there's nothing else. There's no more layers of cushioning. It just goes into this. It's a softer midsole here, so it kind of helps to protect from that impact, especially if you got tired and you're now running improperly. Definitely helpful. And then we also have all the cushioning on the inside. The tongue is cushioned. Oh, the sides of this shaft right here, such a nice cushioning here. Very nice jelly surface. I absolutely love it. And then going throughout the whole boot, all the way throughout the whole boot, including this harder rubber over here, you have padding, which is fantastic. It's very, very good that Under Armour implemented that. So overall, on the comfort level, Under Armour, they just nailed it. Whenever it comes to this boot, I would say probably in the top 5 the most comfortable tactical boots, combat boots that I have reviewed on this channel. Excellent job, Under Armour. Let's move on to the criteria number 2, proofing and protection. Now, whenever it comes to proofing, I think Under Armour needs to make it a little bit clearer whether these are waterproof or not. You do have some gusseting. Trying to find the information on Amazon about the waterproofing was not very successful. I would say these are not waterproof, even though you do have the gusseting. This fabric still, this will soak in the water right away. But you do have the gusseting about 6 inches, which is great because the whole shaft is, it's 8 inches, but the lowest part of the shaft is 6 inches. So they implemented the gusseting the same amount as the lowest part, which is great. It's very smart. That's how it should be done all the time. For some reason, most of the times, manufacturers don't get it, but in this particular one, Under Armour did great job. I just wish it was a little bit clearer if they're waterproof or not. Anyway, I'm looking for a GTX version. GTX waterproof version would be fantastic in these boots. Protection wise, you do have this harder rubber cap, still soft. Keep in mind, if something heavy falls on your foot, you're gonna feel it. Obviously, full size, you have your ankles, some padding. Not much. It's still very soft, all right? It's very, very soft, but something is better than nothing. And then you have, obviously, the whole outsole to protect you from, stepping on something. If you step on a nail, it will still go through, all right? But, sharp rocks, if you're running on a rocky road like I did, great job there. All right, let's move on to the criteria number 3, quality and the design features. Now, quality-wise, everybody knows Under Armour. Good brand, big brand, overall good stuff, especially they have been successful, which, is very kind of surprising because they don't really have anything else, military, tactical, they don't really have anything like that. But with boots, they have been, unbelievably successful. A Stellar Tag, old version of Valsetz, they were all great. And this one is even better, in my opinion, than the older version of Valsetz. So, great job there. And let me know, guys, if you want to see a comparison review of the newer Valsetz Micro G and the old version of Valsetz. If you want to see that, I'll try to get my hands on the older version again and do a comparison. Now, design features here, I talk about the lacing system. Not much to talk about here. It's a very basic lacing system. There are 3 different types of hooks here. All are closed hooks. 2 of these. Then there is the regular fabric hooks, and then there is this kind of like a loop going around, kind of to tighten this area, which is great. It's smart. But because of this all closed hooks, it is very, very important to have that side zip because it just saves so much time to put them on and take them off. So overall, with the side zip, it just makes it great. And there's a nice Velcro to keep the zipper nice and locked. And the zipper is great quality. Just makes it much faster to put them on, which I think is important feature to have in ultimate survival situation. Let's move on to the criteria number 4 now. Outsole, traction and stability. Now, whenever I do my run and my walk, I do them on a variety of different surfaces, starting with older asphalt, newer tarmac, wet grass, dry grass, well, it's dry sand, wet sand first, and then I go onto the rocky road, and then I go into the trail surface, and there's wet grass and dry grass, and then coming back I go into the concrete, and then the rubber, and then the marble and tile. And then also I have a rock wall in my house now, so I tested on the rock wall as well, just because you never know, you might end up needing to climb something. And this outsole is fantastic. I mean, it looks so simple, but most of the times in life, you know how everything is simple. Everything great is usually simple, right? It has a simple explanation, simple solution, and this is really the case with this outsole. These right here are super aggressive, and keep in mind this rubber is very, very high quality. It's not one of those cheap soft rubbers that is mushy and feels like butter, and you're walking on something and you're just sliding around. No, this is a very, very hard outsole, so these grooves right here are super aggressive. They just grip into really anything, and because it's overall flat, while being aggressive, it's overall flat, whenever you're walking or running on surfaces like wet sand and dry sand, nothing really gets stuck anywhere. And it's very important, because sometimes you have too much stuff going on, and then the sand gets in, and then your boot becomes heavier, more slippery. You don't want that. This is not the case here. So Under Armour just nailed this outsole overall. Great job. Let's move on to the criteria number 5, really quick. Now, the temperature. Now, these are not insulated. These are not winter boots by no means. I would not recommend them in the winter. You can get away with some cold temperatures if you implement the insulated socks. But keep in mind, waterproofing, questionable. And I mean, the outsole is going to be good on the snow, not on the ice. On the ice, there is really not much out of the box that's going to be good on the ice. You need something with spikes, metal spikes for the ice. So, but on the snow, they will be fine. It's just they're not winterproof. They're not really insulated. They're not really advertised as waterproof, and you need that in the winter. So keep that in mind. But in the warm temperatures, fantastic. I would say this is excellent 3-season boot. Even in the heat of the summer here in Florida, you're gonna be great. You're not gonna overheat, because they're so light and so breathable. Like, there's so many, just excellent job, Under Armour. Let's move on to the criteria number 6 real quick. Sizing. These are true to the size. I do recommend getting your boots in half a size bigger, so you have a little bit of extra space. And most of the times it's because the harder rubber here for the protection, you don't want to touch that from the inside. Here, even though you do have the padding, you still don't want your toe touching the inside of the toe box, especially whenever you're running, because you're gonna get fatigued quickly. Just a good advice. And criteria number 7 now, the balance of application. So if this really were your ultimate survival boots, would they be good? I think that's one of the best options, honestly, out there, especially this one's in full size. If you want to go full size, personally, I like, most of the times, I prefer mid-size boots, because that much of the shaft, it can save you a lot of weight. Most of the times, the full-size boots are just too heavy, you know. And I don't want to sacrifice my mobility, especially in tactical situations. You want to be able to move quick. You want to be able to fight, you know, physical combat, climbing up. It's one thing to, you know, move and shoot and do all of these things, and it's another thing to climb something up and to be able to have a, you know. Anyway, you get the point. But in this case, because they are so light, you are not sacrificing any of that with these boots, and you do have that much extra of the protection here. So this is a fantastic option, in my opinion. The only thing I would say is that I want a little bit of more robust waterproofing. Even if this is water resistant, even if it has the gusseting, I want to know that this is gonna, I can go into the creek that is 5 inches deep and cross it and not get wet, because this has a legitimately good waterproofing. So I really want to see a GTX version of these boots from Under Armour. I think that would be just fantastic. fantastic, fantastic. And the very last criterion here is the price. The price is currently $140 on Amazon. The link is in the description below. In fact, if after this review you consider buying these boots, please consider using the link. You're not gonna be paying anything extra. You would pay the same exact price, but I will get paid a little bit of a commission from that link. And that's a nice way for you to say thank you for the review, if this was helpful. But $140 I think is a great price. It's definitely on the pricier side, and there are some good boots in that price range from Salomon, from La Sportiva, from Lova. There are some good tactical boots. From Daner, there are some good tactical boots. So there is some stuff, there is some competition, but this stands strong against all of that stuff. I mean, if you're a fan of the Under Armour, if you were a fan of the previous Valsetz, this is really good, really good. So let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think about this review? What do you think about these boots? Would you consider them as your tactical boots, as your training boots, whatever you're getting them for, your ultimate survival boots? If you have any requests for reviews, drop them in the comments below. I always look out for those. Thank you very much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.